Tonight, we're traveling back, not to the age of knights or grand battles, but to something far more quiet and much more boring, the slow, repetitive world of medieval bread making, a world where nothing exciting happened and no one wanted it to, just warm ovens, dusty flour, and people who spent their entire lives doing the same thing every single day. So, as you settle into your bed, let your breathing slow, and imagine the soft glow of an old stone bakery at the break of dawn. The morning begins earlier than anyone would prefer. The sky is still dark, and the village is silent except for the distant sound of a rooster who is also too tired to crow loudly. Inside the bakery, a baker with heavy eyelids stares at his wooden table. A table worn smooth from decades of kneading the same dough week after week. He doesn't stretch, he doesn't rush. He simply sighs, a long, slow sigh. The sigh of a man who knows exactly what every minute of the next 12 hours will be. He picks up a burlap sack. Inside is flour, coarse, slightly gray, and carrying the distinct smell of yesterday's harvest dust. He pours it gently, so gently that the only sound you hear is the soft whisper of powder falling onto wood. He adds water, lukewarm, not hot, not cold, because the bakery is a place where nothing unexpected ever happens. The water mixes into tiny streams that disappear into the flour, slowly forming a heavy paste that clings to his fingers. There is no excitement here, just the slow rhythm of kneading, folding, pushing, pulling, over and over and over. It is the kind of movement that has existed for hundreds of years, a movement passed down from parents to children to grandchildren who all wondered why bread needs to be made so early in the morning. As the dough rests, the baker prepares the oven, a large, domed structure made of stone and clay. He reaches inside to feel yesterday's ashes, still faintly warm. He adds logs one by one, each placed carefully so the fire will burn evenly. Not too hot, not too cool, the perfect temperature for bread that will taste exactly like yesterday's bread. And the day before, and the day before that. The fire crackles lazily, as if half asleep itself. The heat builds slowly, filling the bakery with a dry warmth that makes your eyes heavy, and you're breathing deeper and slower. Meanwhile, outside the bakery, the village is waking up. Not quickly, not loudly. Just the quiet steps of farmers heading to their fields, the low moo of a cow that wishes it could sleep longer, and the distant creaking of a wooden cart that has never once been oiled properly. Back inside, the baker returns to the dough. It has risen, but only a little, just enough to show that time has passed. He divides it into loaves, each one nearly identical, because uniformity keeps customers comfortable. No surprises, no changes, just bread for another ordinary day. He places the loaves onto a long wooden peel and slides them deep into the glowing oven. One by one, each loaf disappears into the warm orange light. The door closes with a dull thud. The only thing left to do is wait. And waiting, in the medieval world, was an art. The baker sits down on the same wooden stool he has used for 20 years, a stool that wobbles slightly but never enough to be interesting. He watches the fire. He listens to the wood pop, slowly, softly. He thinks about nothing special, because in a world without hurry or noise or endless distraction, thinking slowly is simply part of life. Time drifts. The heat remains steady. The scent of bread begins to creep out of the oven, warm, faintly sweet, and perfectly ordinary. By midday, the bakery is full of finished loaves, stacked neatly, carefully, exactly how they were stacked yesterday. Customers arrive, tired, dusty villagers who need bread not because it is delicious, but because it is bread. A simple food for a simple world. Coins clink quietly, loaves are handed over, nods are exchanged instead of conversation, and as the day passes, the baker starts again, mixing more flour, more water, more salt, repeating a process that has no surprises, no drama, no excitement, just the soft, predictable rhythm of a life lived slowly, patiently, and quietly, the perfect world to fall asleep to.